Alright guys, it's been a long time, you caught me, but I'm hoping to get right back into this with all the parts coming out in sequence. I'm editing them right now as we speak. Part 2 is coming up in this video, and I want you guys to stick with the video at the end just to see what the future of the channel is. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let me show you what I'm working with real quick. So right here, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. So basically I've laid out what I want to get done here. So, oh my gosh, I don't know how to use this. Let me move this real quick. I'm gonna delete it. But basically, brainstorm the level themes. So these are the elements that we got going on. Actually, let me change this. For real? What's going on? Yeah, it's doing some shit. Anyways, so I laid out what's going on in the level. It's probably kind of hard to see, but we got, movable crates to keep buttons, all that kind of stuff in the level. And, we identified the level goals, and I put out a preliminary sequence just using sticky notes. And then I started drafting in my notebook. And like, obviously this is kind of indecipherable if you're not the one to draft this, but basically I made like a quick site plan, outlining the areas. So area 1 will be this one right here that I made, and then area 2 right there is area 2, right? Area 3 right there. Area 4 will be both this and this area up here, right? So I already have these laid out. I have them drawn out, and I just kind of want to jump in and like get this started here. So let's get into it. All right, so let's start with the second area here. So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to have right now it's empty, and I wanted to have some verticality here. So first of all, this button just on the floor, I'm gonna raise it up a little here. And my idea here is that what I want to do is have it so that's like you have to do 3 activations to get this gate to open right here. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. Also, let me change the music a little bit. I don't know if I'm digging this right now. I want something chill on the paper. And the way that I thought I could do it is by creating those side rooms that connect to the center room that I have, or room 2, area 2 as you will. And by doing this, I thought I could accomplish the vertical element and modeling out the vertical element, making sure that it's there, and making sure that the circulation is proper throughout all the spaces that I'm making, right? So the idea that I had in my head is that there's going to be an upper scaffolding, kind of like what we have in the first area, off to the left in the first area. And that vertical scaffolding is going to be snaking throughout the entire space. And by almost laying out the areas of all the rooms that I have, I can see how I can interconnect all the spaces together, not only on the ground floor, but also on the upper floor. So that's what we're going to be diving into today. I was also thinking about what these spaces are in the area, and my first thought for this first space that I'm making is that it's some sort of office, some sort of side like generator office area for maybe security or something like that, right? So that's what I was thinking as I was going through this, like, some space where it's almost like a utilitarian space where some of the employees can go, right? So that's kind of like my thought, and I didn't want it to be like an overseer's area because we already have that overseer's area in the center. I just wanted to go in and really just make something and see how I could get these empty spaces and fill them with areas where people can comfortably like go through and kind of figure out the puzzles and also want to explore, right? Because like what's behind the big gate? What's there, right? So here you can see me finally coming back into the second space that I started out in, and I started thinking about what I'm going to put there in terms of the scaffolding. So I have some platforms just up on that upper level, and now I'm just thinking in my mind, how is a player going to get there? What kind of puzzle are they going to have to solve to get there? Are they going to have the platform to get there, or display some skills, or really explore the area? How can I make this fun is what I was thinking. How can I make this almost an adventure? Because my inspiration going into this, when it came to the actual level design or puzzle design portion of it, was some of those action adventure games that you play. Uncharted, Tomb Raider, Legend of Zelda. Yes, they have a lot of combat and action and adventure and all that kind of stuff, but they also do have puzzle elements to all of it. And it's not just puzzles where it's like you're solving a Sudoku puzzle. You're also solving platforming puzzle, or traversing the area while also like trying to get to the next area. So what I wanted to do is I wanted this upper platform to actually be busted or broken in some sense of the word, right? That's what I was thinking as I was really going through this. And the way that I was planning to think of it is that, like, although the platform is busted, you're going to have to figure out a way to almost jerry-rig a solution so that you can safely get to the other side. So here you can see me like laying out some of the platforms on grids, and then I purposely leave a portion of the platform missing, because that's where I'm gonna be like, okay, this portion of the platform is missing and I need to jump across to the other side. How am I gonna get there, right? And my solution was going to be some sort of box like that drops down from the ceiling there. As I'm doing this, I'm also just like looking at the other parts of the area, other parts of the upper platforms, and I do want this wall to be destroyed here, the overseer's office wall to be destroyed. And I was thinking like, okay, I'm building this platform and it's almost blocking off some of these vantage points, so I still want this office area to be there, and I want it to be working with the platform. So if there's going to be a window there, I don't want the platform blocking some of those lower portions of the area. So that's why you saw me briefly try to fix the window over there. And that's the thing, is that I always have to be looking out for sightlines. It's something I struggle with myself personally, but as a level designer, you really do have to be really looking out for these sightlines. So yeah, you saw me place a hatch over on the roof over there. So that's where the box is going to drop down from, and I'm grabbing a lever from some of the other levels that I've constructed, and the lever is going to activate that crate dropping down, right? So right now I'm putting it on the lower level. I don't personally think that's a great choice, but I was just saying I need to put this lever in so I could test it. So I quickly put it over there. And yeah, and as I'm going through this, I'm just thinking about like the sequence of the area, right? So this is the second area, but some of these doors are not going to be accessible right from the jump, and as a player, you're going to try them and they're not going to work. So I have a door coming in from area 4 on the ground, and I want it to be like, oh, you try it, it doesn't work. All right, so it means that I have to try another door, right? So that's the adventure portion of it. Right now it's like I'm kind of still fleshing it out, so I think it's a little confusing. Even when I had some of my peers try out the level, they did get confused as to why like the doors weren't opening, because we do also have automatic doors, so that was something I had to think about. Yeah, and then here I did want some sort of like powered area where it's like you open the gate to that side office that I have, like with the verticality and stuff, and you power some sort of door going into the next area, right? Like I said, you try out some of those doors, they don't work, so you keep trying other areas until something opens for you. And that's kind of the idea that I wanted to have, where it's, because again, this is a receiving area. I wanted it to almost seem hostile to the player, right? Because this is not an area that you're supposed to be in if you're not an employee. So I almost wanted it to be like, maze-like, but I also wanted it to be an adventure. So that was my goal with this entire thing. I'm just looking through here, just seeing what I'm planning to do. So yeah, I'm thinking in sequence again, laying out some of these areas. So here I'm bringing in some of the cameras for that ground area 4. And what I'm thinking of is, okay, so you start in area 2, and then you have area 3 where we're in right now with the 2 panels on the side. And the idea is that you open that door, the door to the right over there, and you go into area 3. And once you're in area 3, you kind of have to make your way up to the upper area of area 4, which is the overseer's office. And from there, I kind of wanted it to be like you drop down into the bottom area of area 4, but without your head. And you're gonna have to navigate using your head to get to the exit, or not to get to the exit, but to open some doors. So to open the 3rd door, like I mentioned in the beginning, because there's gonna be 3 gates behind that door. So you open that door and you have to navigate your way back up to your head using cameras. And yeah, so there I was trying to think of what or how I was going to accomplish that, because even how, as I said that now, it's kind of confusing, right? But I'm hoping that as I go along, as I continue to iterate on this, I can make it less and less confusing. But I do want to keep that maze feeling. So it's going to be a delicate balance there. One thing that you'll learn about level design is that there's always a lot of moving parts. And obviously you do not keep the first iteration you make. And this is the first iteration that I'm making. This is the preliminary, just me trying stuff out. And I did actually make a huge mistake as I was iterating on this. And I didn't really do a finalized 2D sketch of the area. And I think I really would have benefited from that, especially because of the modularity of these kits that we have going on here. But I try to make the most out of what I have so far, so I just continue to iterate in the 3D space. I feel a little bit more comfortable once I start putting in the gates and start testing. Like I said in the last video, you always want to test, you always want to try out what you've cooked up and just be like, okay, so I've made this, is the functionality working? Does it confuse the player? All that kind of stuff. So you just keep trying some stuff. Over here, I was thinking about the sightlines again, and I was like, okay, this is fun, but I'm going to need to figure out the sightlines. And even here, right? Like I said, you test it out, and then I realized that I scaled the stairs and the player just can't get up there. Like, it's not possible because of the collisions. And once you scale the mesh, the collisions also scale with it, and you just possibly can't get up the stairs. So you see me enable the collisions there, and you're like, and I figure out what the issue is. So I ended up switching over to a blockout tool just for now. It's a jerry-rigged solution, but I just wanted to be able to get up there so I could test to see how it felt to be up on the second level. And as I was there, I started thinking about, okay, so there's these upper platforms and we have these gaps. So the player, as they're up there, they can fall through the gaps. So that's when I started putting in some of the railings. And now I start trying to just light the space like preliminarily, just to be able to get around and be able to see how the player kind of sees. Here's like, I still have the place a little dark, and I just hope to fix it in the next iteration. Right now I'm just trying to get the functionality down. And you see me there, even just having that lever up there, like I said, functionality, it wasn't working in that location. So I temporarily remove it, and I'm just trying to, again, create that upper area so that the player can safely navigate. And then now I bring in the lever again. And here we're putting it up on the upper platform so that we can activate that dropping box from the drop down, the chute, the chute, not the drop down. Again, we're putting in the railings just to make sure that the player can't fall off, or I can't fall off while I'm testing. Another test. You want to play test as much as you want, or as much as you can. Not as much as you want and as much as you can. I'm gonna say that until your ears bleed, or I get sick of myself. But I personally didn't playtest as much as a beginner level designer, so even just repeating that mantra for myself really helps me to go through and actually try these levels out before I decide that they work. And you see here, I'm trying to use the lever and it's just not working. I didn't actually go and fix it, I don't think, in this iteration or in this trial. But you can see me here actually diving into some of the meshes and fixing some of the collisions, because I couldn't even get over. So when you're importing some of your models that you've made, whether it's 3ds Max, Maya, Blender, make sure that they work in the area. When you start out, you're probably going to be using blockout tools anyways, but as I was doing this, I realized that I kind of made a mistake there by using the meshes when they're not properly set up for collisions. So here again, I'm going to test it out, and I want to get up there and I want to try out that chute and make sure that the box can drop. So the idea is I want to drop a tower of boxes so that I can get across that gap, right? And again, it's not working. So I start trying to dive into the actual spawner, making sure it's spawning stuff. And by the end of this video, I actually kind of realized that, it's because I didn't really have it hooked up properly. But, that's for another time, right? All you gotta do is just keep iterating. I put the platforms close enough so I could jump across, but I did want to get across that feeling that you have to get across that gap to press a button to activate this, to activate that, and then get to the next area. And I believe this is kind of where I start to end it off on the actual creating the mechanics part, and I'm just trying to almost polish it up a little bit here. I don't really get to the polish yet, but I do try to make sure that things are working. so I can finally get to that third room. And then over here, it's like, like I said, I want to be able to get up to the fourth room from the third room. And I figure out that for some reason, sometimes you can jump up onto the movable crates and sometimes you can't. So in the next iteration, I did go back to the drawing board and really think about how I'm getting up there, circulating to the area, how I'm action adventuring my way through that, right? In the meantime, I assume that that works, and I start planning like my area where it drops down into the fourth area, or the lower fourth area, because this is the upper fourth area with the overseer's office. And the idea is that you put your head on a terminal and you activate some cameras with your head, and also open up that little vent, and you go through the vent and you kind of solve some puzzles to open up that last door to get through all those gates at the end, at the exit, right? So far it's like I'm trying the functionality, it's not working at the moment. So now I'm theoretically just laying it out as a level designer, going to more level design mode rather than game design mode with the tools, and just trying to get my idea across. And sometimes that's all you really need to do. Alright, well, that's as far as I could get today. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to... I'm just gonna talk through what my thoughts are in the meeting. And then I'm gonna see if we can like accomplish them and stuff. I'm gonna push what I have right now. Yeah, that's about it for the stream.
That was a lot of information that we just went through. Loaded video. I hope you guys are enjoying my breakdown on my level design. You'll see that I'm stuttering, you know, using ahs and ums. I'm really just getting used to this streaming YouTube style. So I'm hoping to do it like the best I possibly can. Please bear with me as I'm improving. Let's get on to the future of this channel. So right now, I think the format of my videos are good to start with, but they're more just me like kind of devlogging this stuff. And I kind of want to break off from that and do something a little bit more exciting as I delve into learning Fortnite Creative 2.0. And I kind of want to make it more interactive. I wanted to make it so that you guys can give your feedback and help me learn the program. And maybe I can help you learn some things too. And we can do a little trade where, I mean, I really more come out on top, I guess, because you guys are going to be passing on a lot of your knowledge since I don't know much about that. But yeah, that's the future of the channel, and I hope you guys tune in for the future videos. Don't forget to check out my portfolio link, which will be linked in the description below. And you'll see all of my videos and such on that platform, as well as some other work that I've done in the past. And you can see where I'm coming from and you can see where I'm going. And now, without further ado, this is Midnight, signing off.